back to Risque Business News. I'm your host, May.
And I'm Laura. And we have quite the episode today.
We do. We have some exciting news. Laura just got back from Thailand, and she is a taken woman, everybody. Congratulations. She got engaged.
I got engaged in Thailand. Had to compete with the ladyboys. And I did. I fucking won.
Good luck with that.
It was hard. They're really good.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the story. I actually don't really know a lot about the actual proposal or anything, so I'm buckled in. That'll be fun. And to celebrate, we are talking about a bunch of random ass weird shit I found on the internet.
Weird shit, guys. Like, my main story is on dog meat in Korea, which is a story from today. It popped up on my little push notifications. So it's not like I just went to Korea on the way back and thought about dog meat.
Yeah, well, you could have.
I could have them.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Okay, well, enjoy.
Where's the money? I don't understand how you make money.
Hold on.
From that, though.
2 stand-up comics in New York City.
Just learned a lot of this stuff. I'm going to ask all the stupid questions that you might be thinking at home, but are afraid to ask people.
Making it to where you feel like you're too stupid to be able to ever engage in it, they win.
Why the fuck are they doing this?
It's to make money. It's Risque Business News.
Welcome back. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How are you feeling? How you living?
Well, I'm living
Let's
it
see
up.
the ring.
The ring is right here. A lot to say. So first and foremost, I'm on a 12-hour time change, which is all of them. That's all the hours for the human body. You know, that's full maximum. So I'm a little loopy. So this is going to be a wild and crazy time. So don't at me or do and say we love you, Laura.
And you look
here we
beautiful.
go. We started already. And here's the ring. You may have seen
it's fucking huge, dude.
It's not
awesome.
a diamond. It's a whatever, like a fucking emerald or sapphire or something like that.
Yeah, but the correct answer is thank you.
Oh, thank you. Immediately I'm like, nah, it's cheap. Don't worry about it. No. It's not like expensive.
It's really cool,
I bought
though.
it. So, and I think that's like probably the bigger takeaway from this is I was the one who proposed to Matthew.
Yes. If you follow us on Instagram, which you should,
what the fuck?
Then you might have seen the pictures, which by the way, she posted pictures and I had multiple people writing in being like, Laura's fucking bod in this pic. I was like, well, there's a reason this one was chosen. Have we met Laura?
Yeah. First and foremost, do you not think I specifically? All right. Let me back it up a little bit. So we got married or engaged in Krabi in Thailand, which is beautiful. It's on the beach. I had this all like kind of planned out. I was wanting to make it like a little bit more organic in the sense of I didn't want to have like a fucking Thai photographer like chasing us around the whole time.
Yeah.
Being like really obnoxious about it. I'm like, we got it. Like,
yeah.
Speaking really broken English and like so nice, so friendly, but like I'm a New York City millennial. Like I'm going to take a better fucking picture than you. Yeah. So the way I actually ended up doing it was setting up a tripod with my phone in it. And like 5 phones are like better than most cameras for most of, since cameras have been around. So it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And I just set up a video to record in high def and like framed it up. And I was like, oh, we're going to take the cute picture together. And so then I just had a video.
Oh.
And I was able to grab a screen, like the screen from wherever I felt most confident.
Yeah.
Which was the one where my abs were actually like activated.
Oh, they were
where my
activated.
core activated for like a second as I'm going down.
Yeah.
It's like I'm like in a squat, but like ready to go.
Wait, so you got on a knee?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. I didn't like know what else to really do without it being just like, hey, here's a ring. And he's like, did you find that?
Yeah. So did you get
did
a ring?
someone lose that ring? Did you want to go find you want to go talk to them?
Did you get a ring for him too, or just your ring?
I meant to, but I kind of ran out of time because before there's a lot going on, and I also didn't know his size. Okay, I will say this. I have to give like a shout out to men. Kind of hard.
Yeah.
I actually feel bad.
Were you panicking? Like, how were you feeling? I bet.
I was so anxious that whole day. And I originally was going to do it the day before, but then we did some light drugs. And believe it or not, that didn't like put me in the mindset.
Yeah.
And then we went to this, the beach from, what's that fucking movie? The Beach. Oh, yeah. With Leonardo DiCaprio.
I don't know if I know it.
I basically the thesis, I haven't actually seen it, but I read it on Wikipedia. Like when we were getting ready to go out and I was like, oh, I should actually see what this movie's about. Like I know it's beautiful. And, Leo was in the main character from it. It's kind of a thriller / like psychological, like kind of, everyone fights each other and then some people die on the beach. It's not romantic. Okay. I thought it might be like a J-Lo rom-com scenario, my favorite genre of movie, and it was not. It was not.
Okay.
So I decided to nix the beach.
It also only got a 6.6 on IMDb and
Exactly.
21% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, well, there you go. And so here's the thing. That is not enough stars.
No.
That's not enough tomatoes for me to propose to my man on your beach.
No.
Also, having anything to do with Leo DiCaprio with my marriage is just going to be a no because that man is famously only dates 20-year-olds and I am famously not 20.
Famously.
As we all know. So so I had to nix the beach. And then the next day I was like all anxious because I was like, Jesus Christ, we're leaving this place. This is one of the most beautiful locations, I think, in the world, frankly. If I don't do it here, what am I going to do in Bangkok? Like a fucking dumbass before this stupid show that Matt insisted we do?
Right.
Like, like before a gig?
Yeah.
Like, no. So I was like, God Christ, I got to do it here. And, but it worked out because we had this beautiful dinner plan. Then it was raining all day, and I was like, "Oh my God, where are the people that control the weather?" I'm like Matthew's Jewish.
Yeah,
like,
Matthew, isn't that your people?
Fix it. Make the sun come back out. So I'm freaking out. We go and get a massage. We come back out, and thank God it had cleared up some because our dinner was on the beach.
Yeah,
in this pretty cave kind of thing. It was the big sell of this resort was that it has this little cave situation. It's really cute. Check out Rayavati. It's bananas expensive, but I figured this was the one.
Yeah.
I mean, this was it. Like
it's kind of a big deal.
Spend a couple bucks. Maybe don't have coffees or avocado toast for like a second or whatever we're supposed to do. Then we were getting ready and I was laughing my ass off because Luis Lopez actually has a joke about this where he's like, you have to convince your girl to like fucking behave for the day of. He's a very funny comic, friend of the pod. And I was living that, but the opposite gender roles.
Yeah.
Because Matt was like, I'm in a bad mood. Like, I'm feeling kind of sad. And I was like, well, maybe we smile. What if we turn that frown upside down, my guy? And he's like, why are you being so intense? And I'm like, just no reason. Could you please not put shorts on right now?
Yeah. That's so true. Because like,
there's so much to do.
Yeah. It's crazy because you don't know what they're planning, obviously.
Right.
So you're like,
you just know that they're being like extra neurotic.
Yeah, and you're like,
and that's
we
not
have
like
to go
fun.
take a walk on the beach, and it's like it's fucking raining out. I'm gonna get like wet. Like,
yeah, exactly. And I felt bad because I was just like, please,
yeah,
please get your shit together for 1 second. Like we've had a beautiful time this whole time. I get that my energy's a little much right now, but it'll make sense, man.
Yeah.
And it did make sense. So then once we got out there, it was really, really pretty. And I was able to square up with my camera and like get the angles right, like shoo people away. And then I hit the thing and he thinks that I'm like coming over to take a picture. And he was like, what the hell are you doing? Like, why aren't you posing for the fucking picture? And I like was able to do my little...
Yeah.
I actually just started crying. I was going to say all this stuff. And then I just was like...
Yeah, did you even say anything?
I did a very TLDR version. I was just like, do you want to get married?
Yeah.
I love you. And then he said yes, and I gave him the ring to give to me because I'm not going to lose a ring.
Right. Yeah.
In this situation, why would I do that?
Yeah.
And
was he shocked? Was he?
He
was
he
he
shocked.
expecting it? Like, obviously,
No.
you guys have talked about marriage and like
we have talked about it, and we've even talked about me potentially proposing because I didn't want to completely blindside him with that. And he had expressed like he'd be like, "Oh, I think that's actually a really cool idea." Like, it's weird that it's weird. It's honestly, guys, it's weird that we don't have that as a thing yet.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
What the hell?
Because it's like,
why not?
It's not the man's decision only. It's just like
also like women have
strange.
Money. Like
I don't get it.
It's very much a partnership. At least in a lot of relationships, it is.
Well, here's what I think that a lot of if you know anybody who like had no idea that their partner was even considering marriage and got proposed to, that is not.
That's bad.
That's bad.
I
mean, that's a sign that they're just not in sync at all. Like maybe
unless
like
it's you and you're a listener to this pod, in which case it's great.
Yeah.
Tell three of your friends, maybe your couples counselor.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's not like a total shock and surprise that like someone was considering marriage anymore. So it should just be like a conversation, really.
Yeah, exactly. And kind of an affirmation. And I will say,
and the surprise and the ritual of like asking and stuff is really like just like the icing on the cake.
Yes. But it is kind of strange that it hasn't been a thing that really women have done yet. And what's the funniest part about this is, so we posted about it on Instagram because obviously
it's what you do.
It's what you do. And one of my friends texted me and was like, oh, what is going on here? Like, is this a bit? Like, what are you doing? And I was like, no, it's not a bit.
Yeah.
I posted that. And then all these other people were like, wait, what? and like couldn't understand that I was the one who had done it, despite the fact that I am openly on my knee, and we reference it in the caption. Like, it is double there, and they're still like, nah, I don't understand.
Well, and also just knowing you two, like
it makes sense.
If you know enough about you and Matt, it's like Laura's very take charge. It's not it's not like, wait, what? Like,
yeah, no, it's not like it's against my personality type or anything along those lines. All. It's very
you're not super traditional.
I'm not crazy traditional. I know. It was really nice though that I got to choose the location. Matt did say he was completely shocked it was there, and I was like, "Are you dumb as fuck? This is the prettiest beach we've ever been on in our lives."
Where did he think it would be?
Where did you think we would do this?
A comedy club.
This is one of the most expensive resorts we've both ever stayed at in our lives. Like I fucking popped my pussy to make this thing happen. Why would I have not done it here? Where was I supposed to do it? It was going to be the comedy club. It's going to be Bangkok Comedy Club. Which he insisted we go to. I go, hey, maybe it's important that we finish out the time in Krabi. I signed up for a lifetime at this house.
That is so
He's
funny.
a good boy, though. Yeah, no, it was great.
Yeah, and let me ask you this. After you guys got engaged, did you get like any freebies at places? Because after I got engaged, I was like being wicked obnoxious about it at bars, and they would still charge us.
Yeah, we didn't get
I was like, I'm trying to get a fucking free cocktail.
Yeah, god damn it. No, we didn't really get any free ones. I think what was also weird is like
so many people get engaged there that they're like, yeah, okay.
I do actually think it's because when we posted it, also a couple other people were like, I got engaged there. And I was
really?
Like,
oh, that's so fucking
Christ. Can't even be original. Which is crazy because it takes about 30 hours to get there, right? You guys. Like, it is not around the corner. And it's like some assholes from Brooklyn are like, yeah, we got engaged there too. I'm like, cool. They've never had an original thought.
No, never.
But it's fine. It was really stunning. I actually do recommend going there. But like, I guess don't even drop my name because Rayavati doesn't give a fuck. We got nothing for free. Let me tell you that.
Damn.
Also, I think they were a little bit skeeved out that I proposed. The people,
really?
The Thailand people were definitely like, no.
Which is so funny because it's a culture of like lady boys and all this crazy stuff that is not.
Huge pivot, by the way. Lady boys. We got to talk about that. And not just lady boys, but like, honestly, Thailand is crazy. I think we all know this. We've seen television and stuff like that, but like seeing it in real life, holy shit.
Like what aspects?
I think like the sex work. I support, like, I want girls, like get after it, ladies. Get after it, lady boys. Like, do whatever you want to do. Freedom, make your money, pop your pussies.
Or be
pop
in
your
some weird
penises, whatever.
Or whatever.
Pop whatever. Pop everything, okay? But it is still very, very weird walking down the road and seeing these, like, rows of beautiful women who I'm like, okay, first and foremost, you stay away from my man because you are way hotter than I am. I don't know what genitals you have, but you could probably pull him, okay?
Yeah.
And that is
I've heard
tough
lady
for me.
boys, which is so, I'm like, why are men better at being women than we are?
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
They
are. 100%. They definitely are. But it was weird because you'd see them on the street and they'd be like grabbing people's arms and stuff like that.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
I was deliberately standing behind Matt to try to see if I could see him like getting grabbed. But I think they fucking know that tactic because they didn't do it to him. But they did do it. I was watching this other specific couple, and the girl was walking in front of the guy, and they would do it to the guy.
Wow.
So they're like, they know.
Wow,
they're
crazy.
good at their jobs.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah,
I was like weirdly proud of them, but then kept feeling like, are you being exploited?
There's got to be some exploitation. There has to be because I feel like there's no. I mean, at least a portion of them are being exploited. I don't know about all of them, but like, at least a portion for sure.
And here, this is what doesn't help is the fact that we're sending all of our incels there.
We are. Although, you know what? Maybe I don't want them to take it out.
Yeah, yikes. Yeah, yikes. But
I
know what you're saying.
At least there's somewhere for incels to like get laid, and then they just pay them, and it's a mutually beneficial relationship.
As long as it's mutually beneficial. It was absolutely jarring though. Like not everywhere you go. I was in a lot of tourist destinations, so like don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's plenty of areas that have whatever. I don't give a fuck. Disclaimer.
You guys get it.
But seeing like weird white guys there with their like tiny little tie, like stunning women. Stunning.
Yeah.
like fucking models.
Yeah.
And the girls are so flirty with them, and I know that they're like kind of working them over frequently to like get the money out of them.
Sure.
Which like I guess that is a symbiotic relationship. So go off.
Yeah.
But for me, I was like, oh, this feels weird.
Yeah.
This feels weird. And that brings me to an even better point, the lady boys.
Yeah.
And there was one couple in specific. We were sitting there eating mango sticky rice, which is like, I mostly ate mango sticky. I am mango sticky rice now.
Yep.
It's fucking amazing. And sitting next to us was this couple that was, the guy was like enamored with this woman.
Okay.
Typical like bro-y Midwest looking, kind of like a little like gym bro, but like not insanely.
Yeah.
But like
wearing North Face or something.
Very traditional. Like a guy who I wouldn't be like, this man is hyper liberal necessarily. He could be, I don't know, but like kind of didn't look that way.
Okay.
And he is all over this lady boy.
Yep.
And I'm like, am I just watching this guy who's being unbelievably cool and progressive, or is he about to have an eye-opening evening?
I do wonder how many
Right?
people don't know about that, and that's a very dangerous situation to be in. But
I know it's scary for the.
I can't imagine people go to Thailand and aren't like privy to the fact that most of these women are.
I will say,
ladyboys.
she looked amazing. Like,
do they identify as women? I'm so ignorant to this. I don't know if they're.
I don't actually know. I think it's kind of a choice
because you would think that the term "lady boy."
I know.
Would
I
be
thought
offensive.
it was offensive at first, but that's like
right.
It's
that's
just what they call.
Yeah, exactly.
And there are a lot of trans people. I'm not sure if all ladyboys are trans or like what.
Right.
I don't know. And if I'm very, very sorry if I'm accidentally saying something kind of offensive regarding it, because I just truly do not know all the rules here.
We know mostly.
It was a very confusing place. Okay. There was a lot going on. But I do know that I could tell that she was, not whatever the hell the correct term is for it. And I did not know if he was recognizing it because she was very good.
Yeah.
But she was also my height and Thai.
Yeah.
So what are you doing, dude?
That is a giveaway.
It's a giveaway.
That is a giveaway.
So I like to think he was just like the most progressive meathead, but like middle of the country meathead.
Yeah.
There is.
I wonder if like Thai women get pissed about the lady boys if they're like,
I know,
come
right?
on, I would like to have sex.
Yeah, maybe. Well, there's plenty of incels to go around. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, they're around.
Plenty of them.
And they're all on 90 Day Fiance. There's a lot of people on 90 Day Fiance.
Really?
They go to Thailand or the Philippines and they get these like really sad girls that are just like kind of are submissive to them. It's not a great situation.
And that's the thing. Like at the minimum, there's probably a lot of like really great versions of this for sure, but there's definitely the exploitative versions.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. There was a guy on 90 Day Fiance, the UK. And he was talking about, he like literally to the camera, like
watching every version.
Yes, I am. But the UK version, this guy on season 1, he was like saying it to the camera, no shame at all. He was just like, I don't like women in the UK because they have opinions. I like to go other places because they do what I say, and they think I'm a god and this, that. And I was like, whoa. I was like, this is a man who like, yeah, it's reality TV. A lot of it's scripted. We get that. But at the same time, like, this is a man who has to like seek employment after this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And God forbid he have a woman boss.
Yeah.
She plays that back and is like, I think we just have to go to HR because this exists.
Yeah, we're done here.
Period. We're going directly to HR.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that it's a very different culture. I was texting you about this, like the weekend market that we went to.
Yes. Okay, so I want to hear more about this because some of those photos were shocking. We won't share them on maybe we will, but I don't know if like they'll even like.
I think they
get taken down.
Okay, so let me just give you some context. I went to, I think it's called the Chateauhuan Weekend Market. It's the biggest one there, so it's very easy to find. And it's
in Bangkok
huge. In Bangkok. It's absolutely enormous. There's like thousands of stalls and there's all these different areas and you can absolutely kind of get lost in a corner of it at length. So it's basically impossible to go through the whole thing in a day. And we ended up getting there and walking directly into the animal section, which we didn't realize going into it.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, oh my God, so fun. Couple dogs for sale here. So cute. Simple kitties. It's very cute. Okay. And we immediately walked into the indoor area, which is like the nice stalls. And I will say the cats and dogs that they had for sale there were like purebred, gorgeous. They all seemed so friendly.
Really?
But they were in small.
Some stinks.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Small in cages. They were all kittens. That's suspicious.
That's also suspicious.
Suspicious because are you moving all your units or what's happening?
I mean, maybe if
For
they're
the
all
purebreds.
Greggies. Yeah.
For the purebreds.
If they're
I
all
didn't see any Maine
bunnies.
Coons.
No Maine Coons?
I was hunting.
Oh.
I didn't see any. I did see a.
Did you see one of Password? No, really.
I didn't see one of Password either.
You think they'd be the most popular ones? Maybe they were out of stock.
Maybe they were. Password, if you don't know, is my cat, and he is a Balinese cat, which is a long-haired Siamese, neither of which have fucking anything to do with that region of the world.
Wait, really?
I mean, maybe Siamese do, but Balinese certainly have nothing to do with Bali. It is pure marketing.
Oh, that is so fun.
Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah,
so
he
they
does look like a little sphinx right now.
He does.
Which is Egypt. So what am I talking
He's just
about?
watching us. He's posted up. But they did have like Shiba Inu puppies, which was wild. They're so cute. A lot of Cavalier King Charles Spaniels.
Oh, I love those too.
Me too.
And they're so tortured in there. They're in their tiny cages.
And they're in these cages that are like I'm trying to think of
4x4, even smaller.
Yeah, probably smaller than that. And it'll be like 2 or 3 puppies in one of there, or like 5 or 6 kittens.
Just like
in
shitting
there.
all over it themselves.
Like, they're clean. They look clean, and I can't decide.
How would that possibly be? That's crazy.
I don't. Well, I think it's because there's a person that'll be in there with them, and they'll probably be like 50 or 60. It depends on the stall and depends probably on the breed and like what kind of group. Because I'm sure there's some people in there that are being treated, like some of the animals I'm sure are being treated well. And maybe they're in there temporarily just to like
showcase them
for the market. It's just on the weekends. So I was really trying to like kind of come to terms with that component. I did read more about it later and was like, oh, I was fucking right. It's not great. Yeah. So that happens right out the gate. And then we kind of walk further in and we start to get to the exotic animals, which was wild. They had sugar gliders. They would have a mound of like
what's a sugar glider?
Sugar gliders are like these tiny little
like monkeys with wings.
No,
kinda,
not monkeys, more like squirrels with wings kind of thing. And they're really cute. I always wanted a sugar glider.
Oh wait, did you send me a photo with the sugar glider? Or like
yes, I think so.
Yeah.
No, I think I sent you the photo with the bush baby.
Oh, okay.
Or no, I'm sorry, that was a slow loris.
Okay. Anyway,
it's a different thing.
Cute. It was whatever you sent me was great.
Very cute. Yeah. No, they had those too. So they have all of these crazy animals. The monkeys was a real highlight. The tamarin monkey, and I felt really bad for it because it was obviously distressed. It was like a baby tamarin monkey, which are tiny. They have these little red paws. They're adorable. It hated being in there.
I'm sure.
Hated being in there. The lady was like fucking chilling out inside. I actually asked because I like wanted to know how much the monkey was. I asked her and I was like, hey, how much is the monkey? And she goes, you can't export it. And like broken Thai.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, okay, but I'm asking how much it is. And then she quotes me what ended up being like $10,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which I feel like is probably like the white Brooklyn bitch price.
Yeah.
The one where she's like, go the fuck away.
Yeah.
But $10,000 for that tiny little monkey.
That's crazy. That's a lot of dollars.
It's a lot of dollars. I thought a monkey would be a little cheaper.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess
Apparently not.
My
monkey price. I would not do well on monkey prices right.
No. Damn.
It was crazy. So then we keep going through, and this is when things start getting really weird, is we see the monkeys, we see all the exotic animals, we see all the animals of $10,000. Like that monkey was well cared for.
Yeah.
Because it's a
commodity.
It's a cash cow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whoever ends up buying that, even if they pay the Thai price of $5,000 or whatever it ends up being.
Still a lot
of money. Mm-hmm. Once we get outside, totally different scenario. I sent you that one picture. It was all these cages of chickens that were on top of each other. And in the corner was a cage of these 2 cats.
Yeah.
In this same size container that were so happy. The happiest cats I've ever seen. They were like purring and crawling. Like,
what?
It was weird as shit. I was like, why are you stoked to be here?
Guys, you should be upset.
You should be pissed. You would imagine Greg and Password? They would be furious.
No, they would be like, are you kidding me?
Furious.
I want to stretch my gams.
And I couldn't blame them. So that was insane. And then we got over to like the bird section, and it was just birds all over each other, on top of each other, all of these babies. There's all these pictures or these signs up to say no pictures or no video. I'm just openly just like,
why is that? Do you think that's because it looks really bad for the place, or like
there's a
like
lot
foreigners
of
like PETA will go in there?
Yeah, actually, and I think for good reason. A lot of the trade done there is illegal.
Oh.
And actually, I looked up this market afterwards, and there's like these reports saying it's almost identical to where people had, at least originally, thought COVID-19 came from.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Apparently, they do sell pangolins there too.
What's a penguin?
Penguin's like some fucking crazy like
bat thing?
Like looks like an anteater, but like with harder shell. I didn't see one because otherwise I would have probably gotten quarantined or some shit.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't see any penguins. It would have been cool, but no. But I did see like almost every other animal I can kind of think of.
Wow.
All these different types of turtles, all of these different types of reptiles, tarantulas.
Ooh, no. Hate
Just
that.
everything. There was probably 10,000 animals at least.
Oh
we
my
saw
God.
we saw a rooster fight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
walking down the aisles because I was like, I'm going to check out every last corner of this place. And I see all these Thai guys standing around where I was like, oh, cool. What's this display? Get over to it. And it's two roosters fighting. And I was clearly not supposed to be there.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
this,
yeah.
like, bitch
They're
from-
all betting. They're throwing money down. Like,
and I'm this bitch from Brooklyn in the background just like hanging out. And they're like, you absolutely gotta go. You gotta move.
this isn't going to work.
So I walked away. Also because I don't want to watch a rooster fight.
Yeah. I saw one in Puerto Rico, and it was like pretty crazy.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was violent as hell.
Yeah.
The one in Puerto Rico
I can't.
that I saw, they put razor blades on their feet. So the fight would last like 2 seconds because these roosters would go like it
Maybe
happens
that's for
in
the best,
nature.
though.
Yeah, like obviously like
Like,
roosters
versus them
fight
just-
each other in nature, so they see each other and it's just like it's like
Yeah.
blood gushing everywhere because they have these fucking razors on their feet.
Dude, I used to raise chickens because of course I did. And we had roosters and they hated us. They openly hated us. And I was a kid at this point. I was like maybe like 6 or something along those lines. And the roosters would routinely run at my sister who was 4 at that point. And they have the spurs on their legs. So like that's where they attach the razors for the fights. But they're fucking sharp without them too, especially if you're a child. And they would beat the shit out of us. Like they would come up and they would fly up and they just like boom, 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 boom.
That's crazy.
And I'd just be sobbing.
Wait, did
And
they cut you?
You have to kick them off you.
Did they cut you?
Like they tried. You're usually wearing pants or something to like protect you from the fucking rooster. And you're just kind of like kicking it. Like get off. Like,
That is so funny. They just see Laura. They're like, she is not the alpha. I'm going to go over there and kick her ass.
They also think I'm a rooster, so that's rude.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's
like
fucking
she's coming
hilarious.
here to mate with the hens. And I'm like, absolutely not.
I'm good.
So not interested. I'm a 6-year-old. I'm trying to go to where the hell I'm, whatever, play ball or
swim
something.
meet.
Yeah, I'm trying to go swim. Getting
That's
my ass
crazy.
kicked by a rooster.
That is absurd.
Anyway, so that's the weekend market. Where was I going from this?
I thought it was when you text me. I thought it was like literally called like the wet market, but it's
they are wet markets. And actually, I looked
okay.
this up. So wet markets are when anything has like live animals or meats or vegetables for sale. And the reason they call them that is because you have to spray them down after.
Oh, okay.
So when the like stalls wrap up, you have to spray it to like clean them up. So it's wet versus dry markets are just like dry shit.
Nuts.
You got it. Yeah, berries and
Yeah.
nuts. Only berries and nuts. And paper goods.
Dude, that is fucking nasty.
And that was what was hard for me is because I was like, okay,
This is fascinating and so cool that I get to see it, but also like, what's
happening here?
Yeah.
And also like, I wanted to respect their culture, so I was really torn between like, hey, like I realized I'm in a very
different place
different
than like this
part
would
of the
never
world.
exist in Brooklyn because people wouldn't allow it
and
to.
also because like economically we don't have to.
We don't have
And we're
to
very lucky for
bring
a lot
home
of
a chicken that we found at some
right
place.
But like a lot of the reason we can do that is because frankly we're exploiting regions of the world like that.
Right.
So like who am I to judge?
Yeah.
But I also don't want to watch a rooster fight here.
Yeah, but
But I mean not the rooster fight alone, but like even just like all of these animals being like all on top of each other. There's no way the diseases were being if one animal got a disease, like that was nuts.
Yeah, totally.
Crazy situation.
I think I'm against it mostly for that purpose.
Agreed.
Because I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. When it comes to like cockfights and stuff like this is my hot take. I'm like,
pro.
well, I'm kind of pro. No, but like I felt the same way when I saw one in Puerto Rico where like I think that at the time, I don't know if it went through or not, but at the time they were trying to take away the cockfighting because they were like, this is inhumane, whatever. And the Puerto Ricans were like, we like it. It's part of our economy.
Yeah.
Like we have a bunch of families that have done this for generations and it's like something fun and cultural that we like to do. Like, I don't know.
It's a cool weekend activity. It's a
like
weekend market.
It's something that you do. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, if you don't agree with it, you don't have to participate in it. Like, I don't have to go see the cockfight. I don't have to give them money. I don't have to put a cockfight. I don't have to bet. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, if it just is existing down the street and there are other people that do, I don't know. I'm like,
it's a fine line.
it is a fine line.
And
maybe I'm talking out of my ass, but
no, I definitely am as well. And like, I'm a pushover. So if someone came in with a strong worded opinion, I'd be like, you're right.
sure.
You're 100% right. But I will say that for the rest of that day, after we went to that market, I was really depressed because I was like, oh,
I know.
like all those kitties and all those like the monkey and like
I know.
there's like hedgehog babies. I saw like 30 parrot babies. Parrots. They live 80 years and are very smart. And they're like,
that's
do you know what I
bad.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
I felt
like when
so
people-
bad. But then I'm walking by the sex workers and I'm like, you ladies having fun in there?
Yeah, right.
So like, who the fuck am I? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Can't make sense of it.
It is weird. I remember one time we were like arguing with a vegan friend of me and some people were arguing with Mike Bramante, a friend of the pod, and
Vegans.
and he's
Just
vegan.
kidding. We love Mike Bramante.
And
Vegan food is the worst.
it's so bad. But one of our friends was saying he was like, what a dumb, like there's so many causes to care about and like this is your cause. And I was like, yeah, but if we're going to apply that logic to everything,
It's
then
true.
no one would ever care about anything.
That's true.
There's always a heightened thing to care about. So whatever. Care about what you do.
It's nice when people
Don't
care about
when you
stuff.
don't. Yeah,
It is-
sure.
I listen. I'm never gonna like be mad at someone for like coming after something and like trying
yeah.
to make the world a better place.
Right. And like people that attach themselves to every fucking new hashtag, I'm watching you.
Right.
That's
Then you
a
care
different
about
thing. You care about your
endorsing
public
yourself.
Yeah, you care about your public image. You don't care about anything because you care about everything. It's
Yeah.
like if, so
No, I
Food for thought.
totally agree. Thailand as a whole would recommend wet markets. I don't think I would endorse.
I would
Was-
totally go.
It was fascinating.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy
Fascinating.
anything because I wouldn't want to
Not
support it, and I
sanitary.
also wouldn't. Yeah, and that too, I would be kind of. I mean, what am I going to buy?
I was adamant about us not touching any of the animals because I was
Yeah.
like, I mean, holy shit, the diseases.
Yeah,
It what a risk. Just no.
it's not great.
Minus there was that one the sugar glider that crawled up my shoulder. It's cute.
That is cute. Little bunnies.
And then I took an alcohol wipe and I go, no germs. But you're so cute.
Yeah.
You're a bunny.
And now Laura is dead.
And I have COVID 20.
Yeah. Next week on the pod, Laura. It's just me. Laura has died.
Yikes.
At least you got engaged before you died.
Oh, thank God. It was a really interesting place, though. And then we went to, I'll actually save it because of my stories about Korea. Because we
All right.
stopped in Seoul on the way back, which was such a different city. A different.
Oh yeah, I want to hear
which
about
really,
that.
really cool. Yeah.
Should we get to our stories?
Let's get into our stories.
Okay.
I've talked at length.
Well, I can start. This one is fucking crazy. Colorado funeral home owners were arrested. This is a few days ago. Following the discovery of 190 decaying bodies. Yeah, dude.
It's kind of sus to have a funeral home. I'll say it.
It's weird as fuck.
I mean, I get it. I'm sure it's good money for some people, but there's like that. How about this? The
I mean,
probability.
it's a sustainable business model.
It really is. People be dying.
They
all
do
the
be
time.
dying.
Also, I think the probability of you being a weirdo goes up a lot.
So
Not everyone is weirdo, but there's more of them.
I actually saw this from like a comedian on TikTok, but then I fact check it and it's true that funeral homes prefer to hire females to be like embalming the body because there's so many
Yes.
instances of necrophilia. If they hire men, they're just fucking the corpses. Who was that
I-
comedian that talked about that?
I don't know, but
It's
I
a
know what
girl
you're
in
talking
Brooklyn,
about.
I think. Oh, I want
And
to shout her out.
also-
It was really funny.
God damn it! I wish we could. I wish we knew her name. And it's weird to be like, corpse fucking comedian
Yeah,
Brooklyn.
Well, maybe it'll come to me, but anyway,
but it's
so
a
funny.
great bit, and I remember seeing it and also being like, wow, I have to know that fact for the rest of my goddamn life. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool that I know that about humans now.
She said it in the context of, she was like, oh, so many girls are like, oh, I have to work out to be this ideal body type, and she was like, men will fuck a corpse, literally.
They really will.
They really will. So
Don't worry
anyway,
about it is the point. Eat the chips. Eat the chips. Drink the wine.
Drink the wine. Do whatever you want to do. So the owners of a Colorado funeral home were arrested because of these decaying corpses. They were improperly storing them. Basically, there's this system where you cannot be embalmed, but like you have to be frozen before 24 hours of death.
Okay.
And they were not doing that. I don't know why. I don't know if it's they didn't have a facility big enough or what the fuck was going on. And people complained that there was like a quote abhorrent smell.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You think for their own sake they'd be like, hey, we'd love to take care of this.
I
because
know.
Disgusting.
So they were arrested on 4 felony charges, including abuse of a corpse, theft, money laundering, and forgery. So they got more than just the corpses. But here's the weird thing is that so they've had a lot of trouble like identifying some of these corpses now. The prosecutor or
I can't blame
police.
them. Like disgusting.
And so they've been going through like dental records. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And
that's the worst job.
It's really not great.
I hate to say it, but those poor cops.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What a day.
So apparently they said that 25 of the bodies have now been released back to their families. I would be like, I don't want Aunt Sue, dude. Like, this is horrifying.
What?
I can't believe I just said Aunt Sue. That's my actual aunt's name. But you know what I mean?
She dead?
No. If she's listening to this, she's going to be like, do you have plans for me?
What do you know that I don't?
Please take back my decaying body from these criminals.
Yeah. Also, what do you do when they show up with that decaying body and just be like, well, FedEx is really insistent you sign.
Ooh, my
they
God.
really need you to come down and pick this up. The mailroom insists you come get it.
Rotting corpse for May. Rotting corpse.
Landlord's like, listen, you gotta get it right now.
Dude.
You're evicted.
Yeah, also you're evicted because you have a rotting corpse in your house. That's not gonna work. How fucking disgusting is that? And then also some people were saying that they believed they were given fake ashes. And
I've read about this before.
Yeah, and it was just turned out to be dry concrete.
Yeah. Everything to do. No.
Even real ashes are weird.
It is weird. I've always kind of like, have you ever like gone to a friend's house, or maybe you're this kind of, what if this made this family? Do you have urns?
We have urns of my cats. So
that's weirdly fine. I actually don't know why, but for some reason I'm like, that's a completely different thing.
And so one Thanksgiving, we were all just like huddled around the counter talking about, news of the day. And my mom comes up behind Mark and was like, this is Joey. And then we got this urn for Bill. And he was like, Jesus.
Aunt Sue is not in her urn yet.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
Isn't that ridiculous? And he was like, what a weird thing. And she was like, well, I was showing May because it was right after my cat Joe died. And I was like, Mom, put the urns of the cats away.
Put the cats back in the closet.
But they sit on my parents' mantle.
Oh, you should put them in a little cat tree.
Yeah, we should.
She loved sitting on that perch. That was her favorite window.
When my grandma died, she's now buried. But it took like a year or so, and so her cremated ashes were just like in her closet
hanging
for a
out.
year. They were just chilling.
Yeah, but that's different. That's different than like on display.
Yeah,
if it's like a transit stage, I get that. Like for Matt's dad, when he passed, they had the ashes and then they spread them in the ocean,
right?
Which I think is lovely. But there was a period of time where like they were hanging out.
Yeah.
Kind of weird, but
it's really morbid.
Yeah.
Well, I would think like because my grandpa is still alive, and it's so weird to like go like find a blazer in the closet, and you're like, oh hey wife, that was my wife for 75 fucking years.
Oh God, I would did that. How do you move on?
I don't know. I mean,
so I'm very anti having ashes of your loved ones in the home.
Yeah.
Though
You wouldn't get buried though, or would you get cremated?
No, I would get cremated, but then like I don't know. That's why I understand there needs to be like a transit phase usually, like maybe bury those or throw them in a field of something. I don't know. I love the ocean. I think that's a nice idea.
That is nice.
Ocean's like
or some place that's like meaningful, like a mountain or
meaningful.
Some shit.
Absolutely. I'm like my local bar.
Yeah.
You know?
Elsewhere. That's where
yes,
we go.
my favorite haunt where I get a nice charcuterie board.
We love a charcuterie board.
They're like, ma'am, you can't spread your friend's ashes in here. Like, I know she loved the place, but you gotta go.
Are they still doing the reality TV nights? Because I gotta go. Remember
I don't know.
Yeah, they had ones for
They
specifically Vanderpump Rules. I don't know if that's over now.
This is friend of the pod, Elsewhere, or Ends Well. Wait.
I don't know.
There's a there's a club in Brooklyn, and then a lovely not club charcuterie wine place,
and we get them mixed up, and they're completely different.
So I'll
vibes.
text my friends and be like, "Hey, want to go to Elsewhere?" And they're like, "What?" I'm like, yeah, it's Monday. A Tuesday. Why not? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want my ashes spread there. Is what I'm trying to say.
That is my first disgusting story. What's your story?
Well, my story is, I'll actually start with my non-South Korea story. Whoa, sorry. Let me pull this bad boy up here. Because then I can end with the Korea one and tell you a little bit more about my time in Seoul, which might be my favorite fucking city.
I gotta go.
I loved it.
I haven't been anywhere in Asia besides China.
Where did it go? Oh, so basically, a couple hours ago, this woman in Greenwich, Connecticut sued Chopt salad because she found a finger.
Oh my god! I'm
in
gonna
her
puke.
salad.
I'm gonna fucking puke.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, this one just went up 5 minutes ago. Okay, risque breaking news. Right
yeah. What the fuck? Is this in New York City?
In Greenwich. Yeah, dude. So
location in Mount Crisco, New York.
Yeah, where the hell is that?
I don't know. Not here. But
so it happened a couple months ago. Apparently, there was an incident where the manager had severed her left pointer finger while cutting arugula, as one does. That's completely understandable.
Why are you cutting arugula?
You're a manager. Delegate.
Yeah, first of all, you're a manager. Secondly, arugula is not something that needs to be chopped.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, it's called chopped. Everything gets chopped. At Chopt.
That's true.
Including fingers.
It becomes like a homogenous slob.
Exactly. I don't like Chopt. I'll say that.
I hate Chopt.
I hate Chopt, mostly because they serve finger.
Yeah, I don't like fingers in my food.
I don't. I have a firm.
No, but Chopt is definitely the least popular.
Yeah, it's gross.
I would go to Just Salad before them.
I would go to Sweet Green.
They just have salad.
And Sweet Green gives me diarrhea. So
Sweet Green gives me diarrhea every fucking time. What is that? If somebody knows why that is, please write in. Because
remember, my theory is that, and they just announced that they were switching off of seed oils. And I think it might be too many seed oils.
I think so.
So I think we have to have Sweet Green and then see if we get diarrhea again.
Maybe.
And go from there.
Because you know what's so funny about the seed oils is that there's such like a
People
gym
hate
talk.
them.
Yeah, like gym talk, like bro-y guys hate them. And I'm like, okay, well maybe they're, and like, so it's become sort of like a trope where it's like, never trust a guy who like cares too much about seed oils. I'm like, okay, yeah, but maybe they're onto something.
Maybe they're onto something because
I've been diarrhea.
And Sweet Green just announced that they had seed oils and they are now getting rid of them. So I don't know.
Maybe they're
doing the math here. And now I will tell you what would absolutely give me diarrhea is a portion of a human finger in my salad.
Would you ever eat again? Would you eat food
again?
I
think I'd be fairly skinny after that. Yeah. I think I'd look awesome.
I think I would too. I'm just gonna pretend that everything I eat has a finger in it, so that I don't eat it.
I'm full.
I'm
full up.
I am fucking stuffed. Okay, that is really gross.
So apparently she had chopped her finger, and that was like a separate incident that they reported, and they got fined. Because holy fucking shit.
That was one instant?
And then afterwards, this person had come forward and was put the lawsuit forward saying it ended up in her salad and that she ate it. Oh. She ate the salad. She didn't clarify if she ate specifically the employee's severed finger.
How big of a severed finger are we talking?
I don't know, but this Connecticut woman is not even... Oh, Allison Cozy. Allison Cozy, if you are listening, we have... questions.
We have so many questions because the other part of it is like if they severed a whole ass fucking finger in there. I mean, obviously it's not the full finger, maybe like the tip of the finger or something. Like, wouldn't the manager have gone to the hospital and thrown out the salad?
You'd think.
Like, how?
There's some leftover questions on this whole thing because they definitely, this is a classic. I'm reading from the today.com, so the Today Show. This is where this is good reporting, the Today Show. And they kind of gloss over that.
Yeah, because it's like, if it's like a piece, it might have been like a piece of her family, like a piece of skin or something, which is still fucking gross. You should have just thrown that salad out.
Well,
obviously, but like.
They say that Chopt was fined $900 for failing to avoid imminent health hazards. And it was her left pointer finger.
Only $900?
And apparently it got made as to part of the salad. And then I don't understand why they weren't like, hey, that salad is not going to be eaten by Allison Cozy of Greenwich, Connecticut.
Also, the salad has like blood all over it.
We're going to maybe throw out this one and make you a fresh one.
Yeah.
Sans finger.
And our manager is going to get her finger from the salad.
Yeah, she's going to
put it on ice.
Yikes. I'm so sorry I said that, but it's true. Apparently the experience caused Allison
Cozy.
I don't think she ate this finger.
I don't think
she does say that it caused her to suffer various injuries, including nausea, fair, dizziness, also fair, neck and shoulder pain from going like this.
Oh, seriously?
I don't know. No, I'm just making that up. But also, that's probably what she did. As well as a shock and panic attacks.
Ew.
Actually, I will say this. Chopt, I have also a lawsuit for you because I experienced all those exact symptoms from just reading about this.
Yeah.
I am also dizzy right now and nauseous and having a shock and panic attack shortly. So
yuck. There was
expect my lawsuit shortly.
There's been also like times where people have had like little mice in their salads. I mean, not necessarily from Chopt, but like these types of more protein, extra protein. You fucking asked, but from like Chopt-esque places.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then Chipotle made people have E. coli or something.
Chipotle,
crazy.
Yeah, but that's just like a free laxative.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chipotle. Chipotle's great. I love Chipotle.
It's delicious.
I will ride or die for Chipotle.
Oh my god, I got these tortillas that I'm fucking pumped about. They're called Hero tortillas.
Oh god, what is it made out of? Like cardboard?
No, it's like a real flour tortilla, but it has so much fiber in it that it like nets out 0 carbs.
How? Is this a TikTok? Was this a TikTok ad? God damn it! I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna have them next week. I'm gonna get them. Their ad served to me later tonight. I'll have this glass of wine and be like, "Oh, that sounds like."
It's only 80 calories for a big ass tortilla.
Oh wow!
It's pretty good. Okay.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I really don't ever recommend looking at the calories on chips. You will not enjoy that, or watching people make chips because they truly are just chopping up tortillas and frying them.
Like 20 tortillas, 20 of them.
I can easily take down. If you told me 20 tortillas, I'd say go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
But if you put 20 fried and chopped up tortillas
with guacamole,
I will absolutely take that down and then have an entree immediately thereafter.
Yeah.
And I won't feel bad.
Yeah.
Until later, then I'll feel bad.
Okay, good.
Okay. So that's my story. That's my first one.
Okay, next story. This is back from September, but still recently enough. There was cascades of red wine that flooded a city streets in Portugal after a huge tank ruptured.
I didn't realize this was the rapture.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this image. Look how crazy.
Wow, they were not kidding. That is like a genuine river.
It's a river of wine.
Beautiful.
I know, it's really cool.
Can I go, or is it still happening? Can we go?
I doubt it's still happening. So it happened in September. Now. But
this is actually, I think that's when my mom was in. My mom just took a trip to Lisbon, and this makes sense. She's a German mom. They love their red wine.
Yeah. How cool is that? So it was like a river of wine. Yeah, it's kind of like, it reminds me of the molasses thing of Boston. What was that called? The molasses spill or whatever.
Or when all that pasta got stuck in the rain. Remember that? And everyone was like, why is there all this cooked pasta?
Yeah, that was so weird. Just like mounds of pasta. And then the police were like investigating it. They're like, who the fuck's pasta is this?
That was a great story.
That was a really fun story.
Wait, this is crazy though. If you're just listening to the pod, like it's this very, I don't know, typical European little side street. Looks very cute. And it's genuinely a river of red wine. That probably bankrupted a family.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Some wineries, they're in the red now. They are literally drowning in the red.
They are in the fucking red. Yeah, pretty crazy. It was roughly 2.2 million liters of wine Wonder how much that would cost.
Holy shit, that is a lot.
Yeah.
It's also, it looks like, did you watch Fantasia growing up?
Yeah.
It's
I never really liked Fantasia, but I watched it, but I didn't like it.
This is where we differ, as I loved Fantasia. Holy shit.
Here's what I think I discovered at the ripe old age of 3 or however old I was when I was watching Fantasia. I don't like musicals, and they needed to shut the hell up.
But there was no words.
But wasn't it music?
It was music. It was classical music.
I just hate music.
You hate no songs.
No songs.
Only dialogue. Strict dialogue.
Yeah.
It's not The Sopranos. I'm 3.
Like if I was
turn it off.
If I was 3 now and they tried to show me Frozen, I would be like, no singing.
See, that'd be a great baby to have, because
no singing.
I think about people having to listen to Baby Shark as adults because their kid wants to hear it and I can't.
You know what's so funny? My nephew's favorite song is that country song that's like, last night we let the liquor talk. That's his favorite song, and it's been out for like a year or whatever. And my sister's like, I literally listen to that song every morning. And my son,
that's hilarious.
He's like 3, is like obsessed with this song. It's about like
drunk sex,
about like domestic violence, like.
All right, contact sports for him.
Yeah, and like every time he's like having a temper tantrum, she'll just put it on, and he's like,
I love this song.
He's like, last night we made up. He's like fucking stoked on this domestic violence song.
He's like, I don't know, something about it just speaks to my soul. I'm finding inspiration from it. Well, that's beautiful. I'm so happy for them, and sad/happy for this Portuguese town. And like, I will say, if they have any wino like homeless people, holy shit, what a day!
Yeah,
you fucking jackpot.
Answered the prayers.
Yes.
There's
crazy. One guy who's like, I just want one more drink, and God is like, oh, one more? Here's 3 million liters of red wine.
Wait, so this is kind of interesting. So the large amount of wine was being stored at a distillery through the government's crisis distillation program, which aims to use incentive funds to remove a glut of wine from the market pipeline before this year's harvest. Oh, okay. And then if it weren't,
but you say that like you understood that line.
So I'm saying like.
He goes, yeah, obviously. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? What does that mean?
I think it means like you got to get rid of a bunch of wine before they harvest the new wine or something, like at like a better price than it would be if the new wine was
harvested. Economist, what's happening?
You get it?
No, that actually does sound legit. That sounds
I don't fucking know.
The way you just said it sounds way more. I was listening. I was like, no.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. But no one was hurt by this torrent of wine, but it did reportedly flood for at least one cellar. Oh my God, imagine your fuking cellar in your house is just
full of red wine. Oh, and that's gross.
Yeah, sticky, smelly.
No more rat problem.
Yo, that smell is never coming out.
Never coming out. That is going to be... That town is probably going to be famous now, though, because of that.
Yeah.
They have the great red wine flood of 23.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Oh, here goes Password with his tail in
this
this
shot.
Did you
see him miss?
Yeah, he's not a very graceful cat.
No, he's dumb as fuck. Get your tail out of the shot. The one thing I'm going to have to edit out of this, you idiot.
All right, what else you got on the docket?
Okay, my last story is about... I was in South Korea, not North Korea. They do not have layovers in North Korea as much as you'd like it to be. I don't know if they have airports. I'm sure they do. But we were flying through Seoul. And then when I was just doing my research today, this article came up on the Wall Street Journal. Apparently, in South Korea, they still serve dog meat.
Yeah.
And I will say this. I did not really know that much about... I knew that they have cat cafes, and that's kind of like the only thing I really know about them.
But cat cafes are nice.
Cat cafes are great.
Yeah.
But that's like literally, I don't have much exposure to South Korean culture.
Neither do I, actually. I know they put out like banger after
right.
banger.
Obviously K-pop.
They have K-pop. They have wicked good directors.
Yeah. So I knew that they had some really good music and film that was coming out of there, and then cat cafes. So like my impression of South Korea was
Korean barbecue,
Korean chicken wings, And beyond that, I like genuinely didn't know very much about it.
Yeah.
Fucking obsessed.
Really?
I adored Seoul. I loved it. We were there for 2 nights because the way the flight went, it was like stopping in Seoul and it was like pretty long flights on both sides. So we were like, oh, let's just kind of break it up a little bit and add an extra night so we can like do the miniest of tours through the city and kind of get a sense of it and see if we want to come back here at some point. Definitely going back. I loved it.
Really? Okay.
It was so great. We stayed in, don't get me wrong, like the most touristy of areas. We were in Myeongdong, which has a lot of really great shopping. We went and had Korean barbecue, which was like the fucking best thing ever. It's delicious.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We also then went to 2 speakeasies, like kind of on a whim. One,
That's
I looked
so
up
cool.
cocktail bar and it was like in this like old office, but then you opened up this like, you had to pull this thing and it would open up into this adorable little cocktail bar, which had New York prices. I'll give you that. But it was worth it.
Yeah, is it expensive over there in Korea?
No, a lot of the shopping is actually like, well, for where the currency is right now for the US dollar, it was pretty strong. So it was really discounted for us, including like beauty treatments and things like that. I do think that they must do some sort of subsidying or maybe it's just so competitive because people there are vain. Holy shit.
Yeah, my friend just came back and she was like, I got everything done. She was there for like a month and a half or so. She's Korean.
Oh, really?
So she was like visiting family, but she was like,
But it's
I got
normal.
so much done. It was crazy.
But it's a normal part of their culture there.
Yeah.
So Korean beauty treatments are apparently way advanced on what America and even Europe has.
Yeah.
And I would actually agree because I got like a facial done at this really nice place that was probably would have been like $500 here.
Oh,
And there it was like $170.
that's good.
It was great. And it was like top rated. Like they were
Yeah.
like celebrities go here. And I was like, $170. Jesus fucking Christ.
That's
You
amazing.
can't get a Groupon for that in New York.
Truly.
And so I went to that and then I bought a bunch of Korean like skincare from them. And then I went to this like, it's like a med spa plastic surgery center. And I got Botox and some like other procedures done. Like I didn't have time to do anything more intensive. I probably fucking would.
Yeah. I mean, if I ever need like a boob job or something, I'm going to head over to Korea.
Yeah, absolutely. Like get like a well-rated surgeon over there. They're also so practiced because they're doing it all the time. Men, women, it was equal men and women in there. Everyone was getting things done.
Everybody looks like a porcelain doll.
I got like 6 different, they look amazing.
Yeah,
I
they got
like
that glass skin thing.
I got 6 different things done and it was $450.
That's insane.
The equivalent here would have been like
3,000?
At least 3,000.
Yeah. No, it's
at least.
crazy.
So I was like, already love this place. And then the shopping was amazing. It was cold, but like everyone was so friendly and like everyone looked so cute. The fashion was unbelievable. I felt like an ogre the whole time. I was like, I've never ever in my life felt uglier, and I apparently need someone to like neg me for me to like it. For them to be like, you're an ugly, disgusting American. And I'm like, I love it here.
I do think there is something to be said about when you go to countries and cities or whatever, when people are dressed nice, it feels good. It feels better.
It's the French effect, I think.
I think that's why like Seattle, no offense, but like Seattle, they're constantly wearing like Patagonias and drab clothing, and people like Seattle is a great place if you look at the actual city. It's gorgeous. But it's the drab clothing that just like brings down the mood.
Yeah.
You know.
Put on a lip gloss. Let's try.
Yeah.
For a second. Or don't, but I'm not going to come. Actually, I will. I like Seattle.
I'll go. I'm going to go next week, actually. See me live in Seattle.
See you live in Seattle. See you live in Seattle. Yeah. So anyway, I had an amazing time in Korea. I loved it. I'm definitely going to go back. I was like, do I do my bachelorette party in Seoul?
I would go.
But like only you would go, you know?
Yeah. Let's go.
We should go like independent.
Yeah.
But it is genuinely so far. I cannot in good faith ask my friends to fly 14 fucking hours.
But what if we were like, hey, hear me out. We're going to fly 14 hours and we're going to be on this crazy time change, but we can all get like all of our beauty regimens done in one day. We have like a big spa day where we all get Botox and everything crazy.
I'm down. But again, I think I would have a core group of people who would go to that, but I would feel weird asking people to do that. I'm down to just do that.
I will do that.
Independent, I would totally do it. And it would be worth it. And I think actually, especially if you're getting something more serious done, like a nose job or something like that, the savings are so worth it, which is why beauty tourism is a thing, which we should probably actually earmark for an episode at some point.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there are situations where that's gone wrong.
Yeah. Well,
and it's like a fucking factory. I will say, so I got the Botox done and they had probably a big room with like people on each side laying down on the beds, and the doctors would just like roll up. You had an assistant with you who would tell them what to do.
Yeah.
And they would just do it. They barely talk to you.
Wow.
I made sure I was like looking them in the eye and was like, hey, how are you? Like, because I was like, I want you to fucking focus up right now, sir.
Yeah,
I want you like eye of the fucking tiger. I don't want you being tired or hungover from some bullshit. I'm sure the people in New York have the same thing. But like either way, I was like, hello, remember me, focus. Do it correctly. And they nailed it. They did a great job. Yeah. I didn't get my forehead because I didn't trust them on that one though. So I'm gonna do that here. I don't know. I get nervous about my forehead. I only want people in
when it's like straight up not moving, it does look weird.
It does look weird.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
So
dog meat.
Dog meat. Which is why I was kind of surprised when this story came up, because I didn't ever have dog meat offered to me, or to be fair, it was a lot of Korean menus, so maybe no one fucking told me and I ate dog and I don't know.
Is it something that like is popular, or is it only in like certain regions or something, like, you know?
So no, it is not popular. To your point. So eating dog meat has been, and I kind of get it. Like, it's kind of weird that it is so weird.
Yeah. It's like, why do we choose some animals versus another? Right.
But also fuck that, you know?
Yeah. No, I get it. Like what you just said doesn't really have much of like a bite of an argument, but I get it.
I understand why if you don't have maybe it's the emotional attachment. That's for sure why I wouldn't eat cat, why I wouldn't eat dog.
Like if we had a cow living with us, well, I don't know, if I was a farmer, I'd probably still eat the cow.
Yeah, you definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. Why is that different? It just is. But
it just is. And it's culture. I mean, it's definitely culture. And for their culture, for a very long time, eating dog was totally normal. And I totally get that. So then they still have dog farmers, like people who have like herds, kennels.
Ooh, what kind of dog is it?
I don't know. Actually, I should have looked that up. Damn it.
A bunch of golden retrievers.
Yeah, it's just Cavaliers. It's just Shih Tzus.
Just Pomeranians.
The fur is tough.
Yeah.
But we make it work.
Only Pomeranians.
And this is not popular anymore. So I will say that 86% of South Koreans have little intention of consuming dog meat, and 57% support a ban on dog meat consumption. I think it's something that is apparently done mostly for older people, like a traditional thing.
Probably like a once a year, like we're doing this one traditional.
Yeah, they said the centuries old practice of eating dog meat, which is traditionally known to combat summer heat, is typically only eaten by older people today.
Summer heat?
Maybe consider ice in your drinks.
Yeah.
Have you heard of a frozen margarita?
Yeah, froyo. You considered a 16 handles.
Just
Diet
a
Coke?
idea. Literally anything else, but eating dog meat go off, I guess. So obviously increasing controversy. Seoul is a pretty happening place. There's a lot of people with like Western culture ideas who are like, I get that we've done it for a long time, but maybe we don't need to anymore. And they're actually right now proposed a dog meat ban, which went in on November 17th. The People Power Party submitted this to potentially end the South Korean dog meat trade by 2027.
It's hard for me though, because I'm like, if somebody let's say like someone from Korea was like, I can't believe, or maybe a better example, someone from India is like, I cannot fucking believe these Americans are eating cows. They need to stop doing that. There needs to be a ban on cows. I would be like, okay, like mind your business. Like, we've had cows for
biting into a burger.
Yeah, like
it's delicious.
Yeah, this is like what it is interesting to like put our values on another place.
Theme on this episode.
Yeah.
A lot of and I'm very much trying to be open-minded about the whole thing. And I think that they are also, but apparently the president's wife, oh God, I'm going to butcher this. Kim Kyun-hee. Actually, I didn't butcher that. I think that sounds pretty good.
Sounds good to me.
Yep. So she has 5 cats and 6 dogs and is a pretty big, like, as animal rights advocate, and was saying that she didn't want, she like was a pretty big advocate for this ban.
Okay.
So the first lady is kind of like putting her support against it. And this is something that's getting really seriously considered. So in response, and this is why it's hitting news around the world right now, because, you know, usually this feels like a South Korea issue, like handle it internally. The Korea Dog Meat Farmers Association, which obviously is going to oppose this ban because it's their industry, has said that they will potentially release 2 million of the dogs that they have, like, being raised near government landmarks in Seoul, as well as the homes of the lawmakers in opposition.
Oh my God.
What?
So
that is quite the power move.
It is, and it also, like, under no circumstances am I equating those two things directly, to be clear.
Nope, where are we going with
Disclaimer. But it reminds me of the tactic that Republican lawmakers say when they're like, well, what are we going to do with these migrants? And they'll put them in front of the White House and they drop them off in front of, like, Nancy Pelosi's
it's
house.
It's the same energy. Like very different energy. Because people,
different,
not dogs.
Yes, completely different. But it is kind of...
Yeah, I mean, listen, 2 million dogs is a lot of dogs.
It's a lot of fucking dogs.
Holy shit, that's a lot of good boys. Good boys.
Yes.
It's a lot of puppies, but also probably some bad boys. Some no's. And that's fucking terrifying, to be honest. Dogs can be scary.
Well, and I would assume that these dogs...
Not trained.
They're not, well, yes, and they're obviously not neutered either because they want to just have a bunch of them.
Oh
so then
God.
It's like, if they actually do this could be, like, horrific for Korea because then there's just wild dogs everywhere.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm sure they're not going to actually do it because South Korea, they're an orderly city. They will be arrested and jailed for probably the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
If they do it, fined, like they won't have a business, dishonored, plastic surgery taken away from them.
No plastic
No more
surgery.
of that allowed. But they probably realized that by at least threatening this officially, it did hit world news. Mm-hmm. This was today. Like I'm reading about it.
Yeah.
I didn't seek out dog trading. Like I wasn't like Googling like what's the news in Seoul today?
Yeah.
And I'm here my ass in Brooklyn reading about it. So
Yeah,
we'll see. Maybe they do it. Part of me is like, let's see some chaos.
That would be crazy because then to clean, I mean, ultimately to stop that situation, they would have to go out and, like, either round up the dogs and or murder them, and then it's like, well, then they're just dying and no one's eating them. So it's like,
yeah,
I'd rather have people eating them than
it's
dying
annoying
for no reason.
It's annoying because I mean I understand that's how they make their money and that's tough. But the bill that they had put forward to get rid of the dog meat trade, it's a phased approach. So it's not like it's over time. They basically have to submit whatever proposal, I guess, to have the dog meat trade reduced by them by 2027. So all of the businesses that are participating need to submit to local authorities their plans to phase it out. And if they don't do it, they have a maximum 5-year jail sentence or a fine of 50 million won, which is like 38 grand for offenders of the ban.
Huh.
It's a publicity stunt for sure, but it's definitely bringing eyes on this. And my vote is no dog meat.
Eesh.
But also, don't listen to me. My vote is don't ask me anymore about this.
Stop asking Laura about
Stop
this.
asking me. But I love Seoul. Maybe I'll do my batch there. We won't eat dog. I promise.
No.
I promise.
No, thank you. Okay, so my last story that I have is that P. Diddy. Have you heard about his drama lately?
Oh my God.
You know about this?
I love this story.
Okay.
Well, I hate this story, but I also love it.
Okay. So he is in some hot water with his ex, Cassandra Ventura, who is also a recording artist.
Cassie.
Cassie?
You know Cassie.
Oh, Cassie and JoJo or whatever? Cassie and...
I don't know if she was from Cassie and JoJo's, but she's from Me and You. You know that song?
It's me and you.
Think you're gonna make a move. Make a move.
Exactly like that.
Tell me
Okay,
how you
I
like
actually
it.
did not realize that was who it
Yeah,
was.
she's amazing. She's great.
Okay.
I'm sure she's probably in other songs too, but that one's the one. I remember like being 14. I just like, you know, like feeling my hormones and being like,
move.
yeah, it's me and you. We're at homecoming dance.
You're going to put your arms on my shoulders.
And then everyone's going to talk about it tomorrow.
And the teachers are going to separate us while we slow dance.
Say, make room for Jesus. It's me and you and Jesus. Because I went to a Catholic school.
Me, you, and Jesus. Okay, so anyway, so they were dating for almost a decade, actually. And they split up in 2018. November 16th, she had a lawsuit against him. She accused him of physical and sexual abuse throughout their relationship. Yikes. She said that she was lured into dating Diddy, who she called a vicious, cruel, and controlling man.
Yeah. He's apparently a piece of shit.
Yeah, I guess so. After signing with his record label, she cited fear of repercussions for an album deal if she rejected his advances, and alleged that throughout their relationship, he punched, beat, kicked, and stomped on her and forced her to engage in sex acts with male sex workers while he watched. Which, I don't know.
So I will say,
interesting.
There's probably a lot more to this story because there's some bill that just went forward, which is why a lot of things came forward. Do you have that together, or
yes?
Because that might honestly almost be its own story. It's a lot.
Yeah, we can definitely do more on this, but basically there was a bill that was passed. What is it called?
Like it gave people a year or something to report a crime.
Yeah, basically here we go. There was an expiration of this New York Adult Survivors Act fast approaching, and basically that was there was like a deadline to report abuse that you've gotten, or else the statute of limitations would expire.
Right. It's like a year that you have.
Yeah.
We should definitely revisit this one because there's more people that have come out against him now. And I was on
there's
Black
like
People Twitter, which is my favorite part of Twitter.
There's either 2 or 3 new people.
And he's apparently a piece of shit. Like, for real. Like a bad guy. Everyone agrees. His old assistant came out against him. Like, everyone hates him.
Oh, wow. Anyway, so...
Oh, Cassie, she's so great.
Mr. Coombs, Diddy, he vehemently denies these offensive and outrageous allegations. This is from his lawyer. He says, for the past 6 months, Mr. Coombs has been subjected to Miss Ventura's persistent demand of $30 million under the threat of writing a damaging book about their relationship. And so basically... he ended up actually paying her $30 million too. So this came out, and then he was like, just let it go away. But obviously, it had already gotten picked up.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it actually came out what they settled at. And I was reading online that some people were saying it was probably for more because, and that basically the insinuation was that she has not released anything even close to the extent around it.
Really? Oh my gosh. People are fucking crazy.
People are crazy.
People are sick.
He also was really famous during a period of time where I don't feel like they had any accountability.
That's true.
In that industry.
That's true.
Like, remember they would bring women out on leashes. Who did that?
I know what you're talking about. Well, I mean, there was Marilyn Manson that did that, but
yeah.
But
it was not an isolated incident.
No, it was not an isolated incident, and also I feel like for many years that's been sort of the joke where it's like, oh, you're mad at Matt Rife for his joke, but you're not mad at any fucking lyric in any of the songs that are like,
and maybe we should
smack my hose and then I fucking
kill
them,
cocaine in my butt, and
dump their body in a dumpster, and
I don't pay taxes.
All that shit. Hate when they don't pay taxes.
I know, and the IRS is like, we're coming.
Do you know of any of the other allegations from the other people? Is it
no,
similar?
But this was one of my favorite
stuff?
Cases to read about while we were in Thailand.
Yeah,
I would go on Twitter and I would see some little excerpts, and then I would read them to Matt, and he'd go crazy. I always knew that guy was bad news. And I go, I know. Back to the beach.
You think so? Back when he had...
most importantly, he's absolutely a terrible rapper.
He really sucks, doesn't he?
Fucking wow. He's a great producer. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
He obviously has produced some amazing songs, but he's so bad.
He's very bad.
What is that one song he's on where he ruins the song? He ruins it. Okay, we're gonna put a pin in this, and we're gonna come back to it because I need to come strapped with details to tell you more about Diddy and how he ruins music, minus when he produces it and he doesn't open his damn mouth.
Yeah,
that's what he should do from jail.
He does. Yeah, he really stinks.
Anyway, that's Do you have anything else to say? On this?
No, that's nothing. That's all I got. Yeah.
Okay.
He stinks on wheels. That's it.
Stinks nice.
All right. Well, you guys know the drill. Like, subscribe, congratulate Laura
Yes.
on her engagement, and follow us on
friends.
Instagram. Tell 3 friends.
5 stars, please,
All of
on
that
the
good
reviews, because that really does help us. And we really, really, really appreciate you listening and supporting us, because it's so nice to know that all the craziness we're saying is enjoyed by people. So thank you.
Bye.
Bye.